Hey guys, let's see. I think we're live here. Wait, let me double check. Let's see here. Yep, volume's working. Okay. Sorry, I was away for a few days. Haven't done any YouTube videos. I just was so tired and really busy with a lot of stuff. So, yeah, Advil's been my friend, and trying to sleep whenever I can's been my friend. So, anyways, this should be a fun little stream. Make sure I got the right question right through the email on big government versus small government. Now, this is a United States subject. I didn't really put that in the description, but no, this is about the United States. So, um, obviously, we live in a capitalist country, and let's see here. But yeah, I'm not gonna speak on other countries because I just don't have enough. I don't know enough about other countries to be able to say, hey, this country should do this or this country should do more of that. So I'm just going to discuss the United States. Big government. Okay, here's the question. Oh, and it looks like it's okay to share the name. I'm not going to give last names of any people that ask questions. The real Danny, he didn't mind his name being out there. On my last stream that I did about reptilian people, you guys can see his name, the real Danny. By the way, that was a fun video that I did on reptilians. Anyways, back to this one. This is from Jake. Um, Hi, Justin explains everything. I just was curious about small government in the United States versus big government in the United States in terms of what's the advantages, what's the disadvantage of either or, advantage of a small government, advantage of a large, big government. Um, I've always heard that they say it's better not to, grow the government too big. You don't want too much because it starts messing with just everybody, the economy, and people's life. So, what do you think about this? I greatly appreciate the time that you take to do these streams. Oh yeah, no problem, Jake. Um, that's a great question. That's actually a really good question. I think most economists and people, with people that study the economy and people that also have knowledge of the state of the country, the way things are, the way the economics work. I think any expert would tell you it's always better to have small government, not big government, at least for the United States. Now, I mean, I can't speak for like China or Iraq or North Korea, but they obviously have very big government, and a lot of the government has most control of the countries. But in the United States, that's definitely common sense. The smaller the government, the better. The government is supposed to serve the people, not the other way around. Like so many people, I think, have gotten conditioned over time to think, oh, the government's kind of like our big brother, so to speak. Like they watch you. A lot of people fear the government. People's afraid of the government, and that's not the way it was intended to be. What was it, some 250 or whatever, 240 some years ago? The government, in our constitution, the constitutional rights was always it was always designed to be small, and it was always designed to just be there to sort of oversee things, help people out if they need some help. But the government was not designed for people to like use as a crutch and live off the government. The government was also not designed to constantly be invading people's space, their privacy, adding all these different barriers, restrictions. Um, when the government gets too big, it becomes really, really, really big. Like, I think the direction it's kind of been heading in now, when it gets too big, obviously you definitely lose more of your freedoms because there just becomes too much control. There's too many government funded organizations, programs that just don't even need to be here. They don't even need to exist. Um, Again, you got to have a balance. I always love using that word balance. if your government is non-existent, then basically we would have like anarchy, and that would be bad. If your government's too big, too broad, then you start losing things, your rights, freedoms, you start having all these different loopholes you got to jump through and restrictions, because the government's like basically your big brother, at that point. So you need to be like that happy medium, right in the middle, not over here, not over here, but just right down the middle. And that's why smaller government is always the way to go, as far as democracy. Like living in a country like the United States here, being a democracy, you definitely want to have a small government. Any country that is free and about democracy, whether it be a European country, an Asian nation, Australia, whatever, you always want the government to be smaller. Obviously, you don't want the government to be non-existent, because you need to have some sort of meteor. Like you need to have somebody that's there able to monitor what's going on in the world, and not just the world, but mostly at home in your home country. So you definitely don't want to have a large government, because that's what things get out of hand. People start taking advantage of people, and there's just too many. It's also a waste of money as well for the economy. When you have all these different government funded jobs and agencies that are serving what they think's a purpose, but in reality it's not serving any kind of a purpose at all. Like there's just such a long drawn out list of all the different government funded jobs that there are that don't serve the people that much. And if they cut out some of those jobs, I think the economy would be a lot better and stronger, and it would just be a happier country. But so no, to answer your question, I know I gave a long long answer, but no, to answer your question in short, obviously smaller government's always the way to go. You don't, like I said, big government's no good. And again, something else I wanted to touch on, I didn't really get to talk a lot about it, but it's not so much about like dictatorship, or living under a king or anything like that, but it's just about when your government becomes so large and they have so many different outlets, government outlets, jobs for the government, it almost becomes like, what do you call it, like almost like redundant and silly, because the whole purpose of the government is to basically just be here, basically protect the borders, protect our country, make sure our military is strong. So if something were to happen, they can defend us, protect us. And that's basically all their job is. Like the government's not really, they're not intended to, they're not designed to help everybody out, especially people that are poor. It's not designed to just, hand out money to people, and watch over people, so to speak, like a big brother. Um, you know, that's not what the purpose of the government is. And, you start creating all these different, like I said before, government jobs, government resources, that gives them more resources. It's great for them, obviously, they have a job, and, most government jobs pay pretty well. So, I mean, it's great for those people that work in that industry with the government. But as far as as a whole, for the whole country, it's definitely not a very powerful, strong position to be in when your government is, so big that they're bigger than you. The government was always intended to be smaller than the citizen, basically as a servant. Their job's to serve the people. When I say serve, I don't mean give you money, like, hey, here's money, like the stimulus thing. But serve as in make sure we got the resources that we need. Make sure that things are clean in this country, and smooth, healthy, whether it be the water resources, all kinds of things, air quality. That's those are their responsibilities, and obviously using the proper scientist, right, science, doctors, um, for the country. But in terms of and trust me, I'm definitely not an economist. I don't know the economy as well as lots of other people. Someone that you guys, especially Jake, you would probably be interested in listening to. And I didn't I did not attach his YouTube to the channel down below like I normally would for when I'm promoting somebody. But Aaron Clarey is a great person to watch. He just does an amazing job in terms of discussing the economy. He actually does a lot of videos, a lot of streams discussing big government, small government, economics, the collapse. He even wrote a book. It's a great book. It's called Enjoy the Decline. That's it. And he's referring to enjoy our decline, the United States, in terms of the way our country has just completely been going downhill for at least the last 20 years, 15 to 20 years. But yeah, Aaron Clarey is his name. I'm sure you could easily find him. Sometime I'll have to share his link, but I forgot to do it for this video. And see here. Let's see what else we got here. But again, that's a great question, though. I appreciate, like I said, like 95% of all my streams are requests. So without any request, I would be doing either no videos at all, or I would just be making up my own videos and doing stupid topics. So great topic. I thought this is a topic, though, that I really enjoy. I've thought about this a lot. I've discussed this a lot, though, government related in terms of big government, small government, and what it does economically to the country as a whole, depending on what kind of government you have. And something else I wanted to bring up, there's a reason why, like certain countries, that have too much government control, too much government dominance. There's a reason why most of those countries, the citizens, I'm sure you guys have noticed, don't get, the necessary amount of food that they should be getting, water, their living conditions, their, everything. It's because the government basically took over all of that. Like, well, a good example in North Korea. Like if you compared Korea, if you take Korea and you compare the north part of Korea, the South Korea, it's like literally night and day. South Korea is democracy. They're free. North Korea obviously is not. It's communist. And you literally will see a huge, like, that's another great video to do sometime, comparing how big of a difference the same land is, from north to the south, comparing Korea, North Korea to South Korea, how big of a difference the government can make on that just one piece of land. North Korea, it's beautiful, obviously it's a beautiful country, but obviously the people up there in the north are definitely not near as prosperous. They're not as happy. They're obviously not living their best life the way that people live, for example, in South Korea. And people all the time, you probably don't read about it or see it all the time in the news because Korea is so private. But there's several stories and even books that you guys can read talking about in detail about how a lot of different North Korean residents have tried escaping to the South because, they want to live in South Korea. Some have actually succeeded and they made it across. I believe it's the river that they have to swim across. Some have made it and are happy today. Now, the ones that don't make it, obviously those people end up in labor camps for the rest of their life. So it's a risk, but I didn't want to get off tangent here. But the point I'm trying to make is your government has such a huge role. They play such a huge role in, your way of life, your quality of life. If North Korea, if their government was functioned the same way as South Korea's government, obviously both North and South Korea would be getting along great. It would be a great country. It probably wouldn't even be two separate countries. It would all be one country. and things would be great. People would be happy. But because North Korea is all strictly communism and run by the government, the whole, it's literally a government state. It's not really a state of the people. It's a state of the government. So that's a good example of too much government, too much power, too much control. Just looking at North Korea and then looking at South Korea, that's probably the best example that I could give. Literally comparing a place it should actually just be one country, but it's not. North Korea and South Korea. That's the best example that I could give. It would almost be like here in the United States. It would be like if Canada, had all of this control and power, and all the Canadians were unhappy and sad. And then to the south, you got the United States here. We're living our best life, doing the best that we can, and enjoying life. It would be the same concept as that. It would be a really sad concept. Luckily, we don't have that problem. The people in Canada's happy. We're pretty happy, even though our economy sucks. But it would be a similar concept: North Korea, South Korea, Canada, United States. And let's see. Double check if I covered anything else that I wanted to go over. Sorry, guys, if I'm a little slow. I am just really tired tonight. I spent too much time, like I said, dealing with work and dealing with the GPT. I know I was telling you about that site, the GPT Rewarding Way site. Oh man, I got like brain fog because, I was just doing way too many offers and I was thinking too much, and I should have took a break. So yeah, I got brain fog, and I need to drink more water. Okay, guys. And Jake, again, thanks for the question. Awesome question. Trying to see if there's anything else I wanted to go over on the subject. No, I think that about does it. I'd like to do another more detailed government video and more in depth, though, in the future on this subject in terms of, the size of the government. I think it's a fun, very educational topic. And I think definitely it's something that people should be educated on, because I feel like, before I end the stream, just wanted to say, I feel like not enough people, especially in the United States here, like, at least I'm guessing a lot of the younger people probably don't realize how harmful certain things can actually be, like too much government, too much power. I know nowadays it's a real big thing to support all of these different government organizations and all of these different agendas, and some of the agendas are great. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of great things going on, like the LGBT community that's been, more supported by everyone, which is a good thing. And, obviously Black Lives Matter, certain things need attention. I get that. But I feel like people, you don't want to fall. It's dangerous because you don't want to fall into the category of, just literally assuming that every single thing that our government does is in good intention, because you definitely don't want to end up, going along with every single thing that the government does, or any entity that's, above you. And before you know it, it's too late. You're in a crappy situation, whether it be, worst case scenario, 50 years from now. I don't think people would be happy if our country ends up being ruled and run by tyranny, a dictatorship. So you got to be careful. You got to put your foot down sometimes. Don't support every single thing that is popular. Just because it's popular, don't always support it. So I think that's gonna do it for this stream. I guess this stream ended up turning into being more of be careful of the government stream instead of just strictly discussing big government, small government. But no, it all tied in together. It's all the same. So that is going to do it. Also, guys, before I finish the stream, I wanted to thank everyone that supports the channel, subscribes to the channel, gives thumbs ups to the channel, leaves comments down below. That's all great. And again, I do this for free. I don't ask for money, donations. It's just fun. It's a way to kind of relax a little bit and just, be open, discuss different topics, various different topics. From like this topic, government, conspiracy, politics in general, jobs, the economy, etiquette, you name it. Just fun to discuss a whole wide variety of things, range of things. And again, also, if you guys want a requested stream like this stream, like this one that I'm just doing now, you could either send me an email in the about section, which has my email, and email me a request, or you could leave it down below in the comment section. Or if you happen to catch my live when I'm actually live, you could go in the chat and request. So that is going to do it. I'm probably going to relax here. I didn't realize it's 3:20 in the morning, 3:19 in the morning. And I will see you guys on the next stream. You guys have a safe, fun, exciting weekend. Good Saturday, good Sunday. Enjoy the weekend. Be safe. And that's going to do it, guys. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.